unless you understand the reasoning why I'm about to say what I'm about to say, or the title of this video, which I will explain, you're probably gonna get mad. You're like, oh, he's dumb, he doesn't know what he's talking about, this is the worst take ever. But once I actually tell you why, I think everybody in the world will agree on this. Like, I don't understand how everybody cannot agree on this once I actually break it down for you. So the claim of the video is having a 9 to 5 is the worst, or is the biggest waste of time, right? And let's just get to it directly. Is a 9 to 5 a waste of time? Yes, it is, and no, it's not, depending on the person and the time. Now, I'll tell you guys this. With a 9 to 5, you are capped on how much money you can make. You know exactly how much you're gonna make that month, how much you're gonna make that year. You cannot make more than that. You're not gonna make less than that. Actually, you can make less than that if you like get fired, or you know, something happens where you miss a couple of weeks, but you are not gonna make more than that amount of money. So you know exactly how much money you're going to make, and your life, your income is predictable, right? You know how much you're gonna make this year by the end of the year, which maybe isn't a bad thing for some people, but if your income is predictable, your future is predictable, and that is a fact. Unless you can change your income, you won't change your future. So how most people use their 9 to 5 is they'll use their 9 to 5 to save up for, you know, I want to save up for the vacation, or I'm gonna use it to gamble, or I'm gonna go out this weekend, or, you know, I need it to pay the next bill. If you live life as a 9 to 5 to pay the next bill, or I need to pay this money, or I owe this money, or I have this bill, and I need to save up for this vacation, you get into this cycle of thinking. It's like the next day thinking, what can I do the next day, instead of what can I do to set myself up for the next 5 years and 10 years. Because if you work a 9 to 5 right now and you don't plan on using that 9 to 5 to make you more money, you just simply plan on working the 9 to 5 for the rest of your life. Like, let's just think about this. If you plan on working and just working, you know exactly where you'll be at in the next 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, if you just plan on doing that 9 to 5, which is what most people do. They say, oh, I'm gonna start real estate, or I'm gonna start this, or I'm gonna start this, but they don't actually plan to start real estate. They don't actually plan to do those things because they think it's some big scheme that takes like a bunch of planning. So what they actually say is they put it in the back of their mind, oh yeah, one day I'm gonna get into real estate, one day I'm gonna do TikTok shop, one day I'm gonna do content, but they're constantly thinking about how do I pay the next bill, or how do I save the next dollar to go on vacation, right? And it's this short-term thinking where it's like you're going to continue to go in this cycle for the next couple years, and you're gonna look up because like, oh, I gotta pay the next bill. Your head's gonna be down, pay the next bill. You're gonna look up, you're like, damn, I'm in the same exact spot I was now 5 years ago. And that is something that should scare you. Now, here's where a 9 to 5 isn't a scam. There's people that I actually suggest having a 9 to 5 while you're working on your side hustle, so you don't have to panic and like, oh, what if I lose money and blah, 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 because that's what happened to me. If you take your 9 to 5 money and you use that money to try to get out of working a 9 to 5, like use it to invest into a side hustle, or invest into a mentorship so you can learn a skill that will make you more money than the 9 to 5, then it's not a scam, because now you're using your money to find a way to make more money. And with entrepreneurship, once you have a skill, it comes down to how much time can you put into that skill to make money, because with that, the earning potential with that skill, once you learn it as an entrepreneur, is literally unlimited. Like, you don't know, you could make $100,000 the next month, 200,000, $1 million in a couple years, right? It's not like with a 9 to 5 where oh, I'm gonna make 5K this month, guaranteed, guaranteed, guaranteed. Now, yes, with entrepreneurship, it's like you could make $1,000 or you can make no money at all, but that's why I recommend you keep your job until you take off with your skill, or you take off with entrepreneurship, or you take off with your business. But if you're not using your 9 to 5 right now, especially kids my age, because I see kids my age working a 9 to 5, like construction or some regular office job. If you're not using that money to be like, okay, how do I take this money to escape my current life, or learn a skill that will allow me to make more money, then you're just going to constantly focus on making money. And that is not the goal. You shouldn't focus on making money. You should focus on learning a skill that has unlimited potential, because that is where true freedom comes from. But most people keep in the background of the mind like, oh, I'm gonna start this, oh, I'm gonna start that, oh, I'm gonna start that. It's like, bro, you'll look up 5 years from now and your life is going to be the exact same thing because you're using your 9 to 5 money to save for a trip or pay your expenses. That is going to keep you in the cycle. What you need to do is take your 9 to 5 money. Yes, you should work a 9 to 5 until your business takes off. Or if you have money saved up, I would honestly, like, depending on your position, I'm not telling you to do this. If you have a lot of money saved up and you could just go all in on it, do that. But like I said, if you're just not using your money to find a way or use that money to find a way to make more money, you're literally just wasting your time because it becomes this cycle of how do I pay the next bill? How do I save up the next vacation? And you're just doing it over and over and over again. Another thing is with entrepreneurship and with a 9 to 5, it's two different things. Like with entrepreneurship, let's say for the first 2 years, you focus on, learning a skill that can make you money, like unlimited amount of money. That's what entrepreneurship is, obviously. The first 2 years you fail, you actually lose money, you don't make any money. But that first 2 years is actually experience in a skill where you actually know more about the skill. You have 2 years of experience with that skill. So you're actually way further ahead than someone that's never started. Obviously, you know more about the skill, know more about the business model and everything. So you didn't actually waste your time. It's 2 years of experience where eventually now you just got to keep going until it actually works and it picks up. So that 2 years, it might be like, oh, I lost money or I didn't make any money, but you actually gained a skill and you actually gained experience that can make you money. With a job, let's say you go to a job for 2 years, yeah, you're making 5K a month, over 2 years is what, 150,000 over the next 2 years, right? But if you get fired from that job or you quit, you don't have a transferable skill. You're simply just working for the money. You're not working for the skill. Yeah, let's say, for example, like you're let's just say for a barber, for example. Yeah, you can go find another barber job or you can go do that thing, that's technically a skill. You can actually turn that into entrepreneurship. But let's just say you work an office job. Right? If you work an office job, yes, you made $5,000 a month for those 2 years. You're like, that's better than making no money or the entrepreneur. But if you get fired from that job, you don't have a transferable skill that you can use to deploy to make you more money and do other thing. You just have to find another office job. That entrepreneurship, yes, he failed for 2 years, but he can take that experience that he has and all that learning that he has and apply it to the business model or a different business model that will eventually make him more money and eventually build him an income. So that's just different ways to look at it. But most people that I see that have 9 to 5s, it is a scam because they have a 9 to 5 and they're not thinking, how do I use my 9 to 5 money to find a way to make me money to get out of my 9 to 5? They're just like, yeah, I'm gonna save up. I'm gonna pay my next bill, and I'm gonna use this money to go on vacation. If you just keep saving up money, then use it on, pay your bills and vacation, you restart at the bottom. You save up your money, pay bills, vacation, you start at the bottom. With the 9 to 5, it's like, bro, once you save up and you pay your expenses and you pay your bills and you go on vacation, now you have to restart, right? You should be taking your 9 to 5 money and you should be taking it to learn a skill that can make you money, an unlimited amount of money, and make you money while you don't have to work or make you money while you can travel. Because if you continue going on in this cycle, the 9 to 5 cycle of just, oh yeah, I'm gonna just, not think about my future. That's what most people don't do. It's short-term thinking that kills people because it's like, oh, the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. So it's like, how do I set myself up for the future, right? And that's what most people should do is like, you're too worried about the short term. Stop worrying about how do I go on vacation? How do I buy the next pair of sneakers? How do I, use the money to go out and gamble? Because you're just restarting every single time. You need to find a way that can make you money long term, or else you're just going to know exactly where you're at in 5 to 10 years from now. Like, for example, I have a friend that went to a crazy college. He went to one of the best business schools. He went to Carnegie Mellon, right? And he's super smart, super successful. He plans on being an entrepreneur, but he has a boss that's like way older than him or something. And he asked him like, yo, bro, like, cause his boss was like a really smart person. I guess he went to Carnegie or something. He was like, do you plan on like using your money? Like, what do you plan on doing in the future? Like, do you want to invest into a business? Do you want to do this? And keep in mind, this guy's really smart. He's like, no, I don't really have any plans. Like, I mean, I got a good job and everything, which is okay, which is cool to do. But if you're not using your money, again, that guy plans on doing the 9 to 5 for the rest of his life, which is just like, bro, You know exactly what your future is going to look like if you continue to do the same thing over and over again. Why would he not, especially being as smart as, like, I'm confused, why being that smart and already making a lot of money, because he makes good money, being that successful, like, how can I find a way to put my money into a way that makes me more money or earn me more money so I can not have a, like, yes, it sounds stupid, like, because you don't want to have a predictable future, because, like, oh, what, you know, that's scary to some people. But I think it's more scary to have a predictable future than an unpredictable future, which is why I think entrepreneurship is better than having a 9 to 5. But it's like, bro, someone that's successful, they make money. It's like, if you don't have plans to use your money in a way that can make you more money or that can free up your time, you essentially know exactly where you're going to be at in the next 5 to 10 years. Like, that guy that works the job, he's going to be at that same job in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, for the rest of his life, doing the same exact thing, because he doesn't plan on using that money to make more money. And that's where I think the 9 to 5 is a scam. But if you use that money and you're like, how do I change my situation? Then it's not a scam. Then it's like you're just funding your life now to find a way out of your life. So I want you guys' opinions. Please drop your opinions in the comment section. I really want to hear your opinion, especially about hearing me break it down. Like, if you continue looking at the short term, how do I pay the next bill? How do I get the next pair of sneakers? How do I pay the next this? How do I pay my expenses? You're just constantly looking down, down, down. You're going to walk, and you're going to look up. Holy shit, like, I didn't go anywhere. It's like with a 9 to 5. It's like, bro, you're not using that money to look long term. You need to use that money to make you more money. So please, I don't understand how anyone could disagree with this. Maybe I didn't explain it as well as I wanted to, but please, someone tell me in the comment section if you disagree.